everyone. It is Old Dark 30. I am doing a little car chat with you. And I wanted to do a video, or sorry, not a video, but an audible for you because I just don't have access to video right now. But this is, again, I did a video a few weeks ago, and I kept it private, but I think I need to start making my tapes, videos, etc. open to the public. And I don't like to do that all the time because I like what we say to stay with us, but this message is so critical that I see I need to do it more often, and I also see that I need to make it public. So I was on a page yesterday, and long story short, guy wrote that he was at a supermarket and he witnessed a guy and a woman. They were customers. I'm assuming they didn't know each other, but the man got upset. He called the woman a bitch, and then she in turn, got upset, walked away, and then he called her the C word. Now, for those who don't know, the C word is cunt. Now, growing up as an African American woman, the word cunt doesn't mean anything to me. It really doesn't. It's as if somebody were to say tree or book. It doesn't mean a thing to me. And that's what I've known as far as other black women. That's what they feel and know as well too. But so I made that comment. So the guy was basically on the page asking, he said, I didn't know that was such a thing. And so most people were like, oh, no, it's not. And then, a couple of people were like, if somebody were to call me that, I would go ballistic. So the two young ladies, I'm going to call them ladies, they were like, yeah, if somebody were to call me that, I would go ballistic. And I was like, that has not been my experience. I know white women tend to go ballistic, and I've heard even Spanish women go ballistic, but I've never heard an African American woman, black woman, etc., go ballistic off of that word. And they were like, that's your opinion. And I agree, that is my opinion. That's my assessment as well. So when people are assessing, they're usually speaking on what they've encountered, and that's what I have encountered. But I'm big enough and mature enough to say, you're absolutely correct. That is my assessment for my world. And she's like, well, don't speak for everybody. Well, that's what I'm doing, and you can't tell me not to. So although that is my assessment and my opinion, that is just what it is, my assessment and my opinion. I have every right to say what my opinion is. So then it kind of turned to the right, and the woman started saying, if a man says this to me, she said, I would, she said, if he called me anything other than my name, and her exact words were, I'm fucking him up. End quote. So once again, my comment back to her was, which I said this on my video last week, what is he doing while you're doing all of this? Like, explain to me how this looks, ladies. You get upset because a man calls you a name. A male, man, whatever, female, whoever. Someone calls you a name that you don't like, and you are ready to fight that person. So, okay, fine. That's what you're ready to do. But this is what I'm trying to explain and get across, which to me is perfectly good common sense. But I can't seem to understand how they don't see it that way. And she says, yeah, I'm fucking him up. And I said to her, I responded, please tell me what that looks like. What is he doing while you're doing this? Is he sitting there watching television? Is he sitting there just sitting on his hands, or his hands are taped, and he's just letting you just go to town on him? And what I don't understand is, where is all this tough bravado coming from these women? Like, sister girl, you might be good. He gonna get these hands. Listen, you might be Layla Ali Jr. You might just be that good in her heyday. But at the end of the day, Layla Ali cannot be a Mike Tyson. Layla Ali cannot be Evander Holyfield. And I'm only throwing out old names because those are the boxers I know. I don't keep up with boxing like that. But you get the picture. So even in her heyday, and even in his old day, his retired state, or their retired state, she can't beat them. And this is why we have sports that are separate. Now, ladies, we are all that, and we can do this, and we are strong. And let me tell you, I did not realize how strong I was until I pushed out my first child. And that's when I said, wow, I'm strong. We are strong in other ways. There's no need to compete with a man physically when it comes to fighting. Now, can a woman, if somebody's trying to attack you, can she get out of those situations and, punch him in the nose and stab him in the eyes and hit him in the groin to get away. Absolutely. And that's not to say that she cannot physically overpower him in ways that are different. But when you are taking a man and a woman and you're putting them in a boxing ring and they're going toe to toe, the odds are not in her favor. And guess what? Let's say she can beat him. Like, okay, she can knock him out. Why would you want to? Because somebody called you a name. Like, that's what we did in 3rd and 4th grade. And I mean, I just can't understand this. It really bothered me last night because I'm saying to myself, am I outgrowing people? Am I outgrowing and out maturing people? Like, where this is a conversation that we have to continue to have? Why are women all of a sudden so angry that you're going to let somebody push your buttons? And if you are a mother and you're a wife, I mean, I'm going with the mother thing, because if I'm married, and I am, and I die the day tomorrow, or he dies the day tomorrow, we're grown and we can take care of ourselves. He'll cry and I'll cry, and you'll be, in grief and all that sympathy. But at the end of the day, he can take care of himself and I can take care of myself. But my children cannot. And I would not want to put myself in a position that jeopardizes me being in a position to take care of my babies and be there for them. At the end of the day, they want their mother. So why am I going to allow a perfect stranger in this incident, because this was at a supermarket, why am I going to allow a perfect stranger to push my buttons by calling me a name? He called me a name. I'm angry. I'm going to fight him now. Really? So in this incident, when he was describing at the supermarket, this woman goes ballistic and she starts throwing cans and groceries at this man and goes ballistic. Now, let's go another step further and say she hits him in the head with a can, cracks his head open, he falls down, and he hits his head on the shelf and he dies. Now you're in jail for murder or aggravated assault or whatever the charge may be. He pulls out a gun, he shoots you. He pulls out a knife and stabs you. All for what? Now you would think that's common sense and that's not that difficult to understand, but you say that to somebody, they gonna get these hands. Oh my goodness. What's wrong with people? I really cannot understand that. And maybe that's why I said maybe I need to open up my videos and my broadcasts to the public again when I used to have my radio show, because when I put this out there to my friends, they all seem to understand it, and they're like high-fiving me and saying, yes, Tosh, you're right. These women need to stop that. So they're agreeing with me. So maybe I need a different perspective to help us understand what we're not understanding. And I mean, it's just the anger and the bitterness. It's ridiculous. So I'm speaking to you like this because I am very passionate when it comes to helping people and when it comes to saving some daggone lives. It means I can save your life or open your mindset up a little bit just to get you to see how crazy you sound. Then that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm angry. And the woman, so she said, she said, WTF. Like she said, you're just ignorant. I'm ignorant because I told her that there's no name on the planet that someone could call me that's going to make me go ballistic. And I'm ignorant. So, and with that said, she had another friend high-fiving her. With that said, my response to her was, you're right. Peace out. Like, I'm out. Peace. I said, you're right, sis. I'm ignorant. Peace. And the reason why I said that is because I am ignorant. I am ignorant. I am ignorant. And people use that word ignorant, and I think they use it wrong. But in this regard, which is the case, the definition, ignorant is not knowing. And for that, I am ignorant. I will admit, I will jump up and down. I am ignorant to how somebody could think this way, to how somebody could be that dumb. Yes, dumb. And my 5-year-old last night, he called my daughter dumb, and I was like, we don't say that. That's a bad word. And I think that is a bad word to call somebody dumb. But in this regard, you're dumb. Anytime you think somebody's trying to explain to you that, hey, you don't put your hands on somebody because they called you a name, then yeah, I think you're dumb. I'm going to resort to a 5-year-old mindset. You're dumb. So at any rate, we have to do better. You should want to do better. I can't. And then so that's that. And I really want to just do some workshops and some meetups with some folks, because it's clear that our women are hurting, they're angry, they're bitter, and I'm seeing that it's getting worse. It's getting increasingly worse, where women don't want to. They think they have to raise a man, and they think they have to compete against them, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. I really think I'm just getting old, and that's a good thing. But the flip side is, you when you get older, you hopefully get more mature and more wise, and with that comes a separation. You start to leave the things that you used to do and the things that you used to think. You start to remove yourself from that mindset, and you find yourself, I feel, maybe somebody, I don't know, help me out here, I feel like I'm moving farther and farther away from people, and I'm on another planet. And it's a song, I'm on a new level. I feel like I'm on a new level, and that's scary. It's exciting, but it's also a little sad that you're that far away from the mindset of people. And as many of you know who listen to me, or when you're your Facebook friends or whatever, the hubster does not really do social media. No, I should say really, he doesn't do social media at all. He can't even understand why I spend my valuable time on it. He's like, I don't understand why you sit there and go back and forth with people, but I know that's your thing. But he was telling me, like, he was saying, why are you trying so hard to convince people that don't want to be convinced? Or his thing is, they're stuck in their mindset. That's what they want to do. Let them be. And I just can't do that. I just can't just walk away and just say, I'm wiping my hands of this mess. You're where you are. And his thing is, you're where you are, I'm going to leave you there. And I can't seem to get there yet. I can't seem to leave my people. I can't seem to forsake you. Maybe I should. Maybe my life would be a little bit more peaceful if I didn't try to understand and get people to change. I'm not trying to change you. I just want you to evolve and wake the heck up. So maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's something that I need to work on, is leave people where they are and go enjoy my life and do me. But I feel like that's such a sellout move. I think that's such a sellout move. I'm not going to be one of these people who are like, okay, that's on them, I'm over here, and I'm not worried about anybody. I'm worried about me and mine and my family, and that's the end of that. I don't want to do that. I feel like that goes against who I am. Now, if that's how you are, I get that. Some people, everybody's not the same. Like, as I just mentioned, my husband is not that way. He's the total opposite of me. He's more reserved. I'm more out. I'm more, public. He's totally not that guy. You could go through all of my Facebook pictures, and there are many, and you'll probably only find 3 of him with his face to the side. I don't publicize his face. So I try to be an open book. I try to be transparent. Some things, yes, are private with me. Although one of my friends said, "No, private you." But I try to be private about some things. You don't know everything about me, nor should you. But I just can't, for the life of me, understand that one. So if people think they got the jump on Tosh and we know something about her, well, you know this. You know this about me. I am not comfortable leaving my people where they are. I just can't do it. And again, maybe I'll evolve one day and say, you know what, I had enough. But at this present day, this present state of my life, that's just not where I am. So I'm going to keep on trying and keep on doing and keep on crack-a-lacking, because I believe that if you can save one life, you can alter one mindset. Some sister out there is going to think twice when she goes to jump up. And one of my favorite rap songs of all time was by Brand Nubian, and And it's called punks jump up to get beat down. Stop thinking that you want to jump up and beat somebody up, because guess what? They could very well beat you down. Punk. Anyway, I got to go. I got to do my rest of my commute. It's been real. Time to get it crack-a-lacking. Let's go.